Hi Math 1, Miss Griffith here reporting from my kitchen. Hopefully you can hear me. There is a lot of yard work going on in the neighborhood. Today's kind of fun. We start statistics again, and you know that I like teaching this. And we're going to look at how we could organize something that we call categorical data. So this is data that cannot be expressed using numbers, such as animal type, color, or sport. All right, so we do have numbers in it, but it's not like you play the sport 29.2. It's like how many people play baseball, things like that, and we can put that into a table. All right. Quantitative data is data that can be used expressing numbers, such as height, all right, weight, things like that. Today, again, you're going to be looking at a two-way frequency table. It's how we organize categorical variables. All right, I'm going to go over how to calculate a relative frequency, a joint relative frequency, and a marginal relative frequency. Well, first, number one says we've divided our group and they are either male or female, all right, and they either jog, fly kites, or go on a picnic. Well, we need to complete the rest of this two-way table. You'll note that if you add any of the columns, they must add up in the total. So we could do 9 plus 11 to get 20. Next, we could do 4 plus 1 equals 5. And now we can say 10 plus what is going to equal 15, or 25. Sorry, I said the answer. 10 plus 15 is going to equal 25. And the two-way total also totals this way. So if I want the total people that are male in this survey, I would do 9 plus 4 plus 10 to get 23. And then for female, total females, 11 plus 1 plus 15 to get 27. Let's just verify 23 plus 27 does in fact equal 50. Now we're going to do something called a relative frequency. This essentially means that we're going to put these numbers in a decimal form. So we're going to divide all of these numbers by the total amount of people in the survey, and that's going to be 50. So for instance, in this little box, I'm going to be doing 9 divided by 50. So 9 divided by 50, and that's going to be 0.18 when I put that into my calculator. In the next box, I'm going to be doing 11 divided by 50. All right, and that equals 0.22. Next, I'm going to be doing 20 divided by 50, and that equals 0.40. I'm going to continue to do this. So again, males that are flying kites, that's 4 out of the grand total is 50, and that's going to be 0.08. I'm going to continue doing this until I'm all the way done. Okay, so I'm just dividing all of these numbers by 50. And we'll do 23 divided by 50 is 0.46. And then 27 divided by 50 is 0.54. Notice down here in your relative frequency table, the very bottom right will always add up to 1. Next, I just want to go over a little bit of terminology with you. Anything that is in the middle here that we just calculated, this is called a joint relative frequency. It's talking about two things at a time. Relative frequency. For instance, the females who fly kites, that's going to be here, 2%. Well, anything on the margin, and you've learned this in English, so anything on the margin, we call this marginal relative frequency. So any of these numbers is going to be a marginal relative frequency. Okay, now we have something called conditional relative frequency, and they want a row conditional, meaning for this male, I am only going to use male numbers. So it's basically saying, given that you're male, what is the relative frequency that you jog given you're male? Well, we will only want to use the male numbers here. So in this case, I'm going to be dividing all of these numbers by the actual row total. So for instance, here I'm going to be doing, whoops, my pencil, 9 divided by 23, 4 divided by 23, 10 divided by 23, 23 divided by 23. For the next row, we're going to say, given female, what is the percentage that you like to jog? Well, that's going to be 11 out of the 27 total females. So 11 divided by 27, and then we have 1 divided by 27, 15 divided by 27, 27 divided by 27, and then the total will just be out of the total. So 20 divided by 50, 5 divided by 50, 25 divided by 50, and then 50 divided by 50. Okay. Next, well, I guess I could actually put those actual percentages down for you. So if I put this in the calculator, I get 0.39, 0.41, 0.40, 0.174, 0.037, 0.1, 0.43, 0.556, 0.5, and then 1, 1, and 1. Now we're just going to answer some questions. The way I like to do this is I don't even like to use table B or C. You can do all of these questions from table A. So what percentage of all males prefer jogging? All right, name the relative frequency. Okay, well, we just want to know out of all the joggers, how many males prefer jogging? Well, that's going to be 9 out of the total. 9 divided by 15, which is 18%. Yes, I could have seen that there, but again, I like to just use table A. So that's 18%. Because it's in the middle here, we call that a joint relative frequency. All right. Now, what percentage of all surveyed are female and prefer picnicking? Okay, so we are female and prefer picnicking. Female and picnicking, well, that's 15 out of 50. And again, that is in the middle. And we're actually talking about two things, female and picnicking. So that is going to be another joint relative frequency. What percentage of all surveyed prefer to fly kites? Well, it looks like a total of 5 people out of 50 prefer to fly kites. So that's 10%. But notice that 5 is on the margin. So we used that number in our numerator. So this is actually going to be a marginal relative frequency. Next, what percentage of all surveyed are male? Well, how many males do we have? It looks like we have a total of 23 males. So 23 divided by 50 is 46%. Because we used a number on the margin in our numerator, that is going to be a marginal frequency. For the females surveyed, this is conditional, okay? This means you must be a female. So for the female surveyed, so I'm actually gonna only look at these female numbers and I'm gonna put no other numbers here. So what percentage prefer picnics? Well, that's 10 out of 23. Notice we're not using that 50 total because it's Oh, it's actually, sorry, that's males, right? Females, it's 15 out of 27. All right, so 15 out of 27, we were only, because it told us, given you are a female, so we had to only look at the numbers in the row for the female. So this is going to be 0.556. We call this conditional. Okay, again, I'm just using A to answer these questions. For the people who prefer jogging. So I can only look at the people that are jogging. So that means I can only look right here and use these numbers. What percentage were male? Well, that's 9 out of 20. So 9 divided by 20 equals 0.45 or 45%. Well, they gave us the condition of jogging. This is a conditional frequency. Okay, thank you.